Hello everybody, what's going on, and welcome to the next redirect video for Let's Watch Attack on Titan episode 67, 68, 69, 70, and 71. Go in the description, click on the Dailymotion, the Google Drive links, or the BitChute links to watch me watch these 5 episodes of Attack on Titan. Hello. So yeah, what's up everybody? Let's just get right into it, because I've already talked about why I'm uploading this in such a weird way in the episode 64 to 66 discussion, so in the episode 64 to 66 redirect. So in this one, we're just going to talk about the episodes a bit. Let's do it. Spoilers from my thoughts on the episodes coming up. Alright, so you've been warned. Also, excuse me if I'm a little low energy. I'm recording this at like 11 p.m. I'm extremely tired. But I figured I need to get this redirect done, so here we go. Let's do it though. Let's jump into the discussion a little bit. For the record, I'm not going to be going episode by episode, because to be quite frank, I don't think I have enough to say to really warrant it. So I'm just going to talk about the episodes overall, especially, and I mean specifically 64 all the way to 71. This discussion's going to kind of run the gambit. Alright, so here we go. Excuse the squeaky chair. It's a squeaky chair. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about these episodes a bit, because, over the time I've spent since recording these episodes, it's been about a week or two if I recall correctly, maybe 3 weeks. It's been a little bit, so I feel like I have a bit to say about it. Not too much, because I feel like I do discuss these episodes quite thoroughly, especially in the final episodes. In this session alone, I have 3 episodes that go up to 40 minutes. So, I discuss things quite a bit, but my opinions have slightly altered in the time I have spent away. So let's talk about it. First things first, this was surprisingly difficult for me to edit, which is weird. I don't usually have this problem, but I don't like when my Let's Watches come across as extremely negative. And I felt like so frequently I was just not enjoying these episodes, especially in this session, once I really got a feel for where the story was going and what it was. I just wasn't feeling it, and I don't like that. But I can't just, you know, I can't just pretend like I'm enjoying it, and I can't drop this series because it's Attack on Titan. It's something I've been watching forever, so I can't just drop it and be like, well, I'll watch it on my own time, who cares. Like, I can't just do that. I've literally recorded my reactions to this series ever since season 1, so I feel like I'm kind of obligated to see it through, and to be quite frank, I want to see it through, even if I spend the rest of this time not really feeling it. But I just hate that feeling of going through the episodes going, oh my god, here I am complaining again, saying the same thing again. I don't ever try to do that, and I'm specifically going to try not to do that in the final session, because I think I have 3 episodes left after these sessions. I think I just have 3 episodes, maybe 4, I forget, but I believe I have 1 session left, and I'm gonna try to keep things, if not positive, at least inquisitive and neutral, because one of the biggest things that has changed since everything's kind of settled down and I've been able to really think about these episodes a bit more, one of the things that absolutely has changed is that I've come to accept that I've kind of come to appreciate what they were doing here. I think I mentioned it a couple times in the episode discussions that I see what they're doing, I just don't like it, or I see what they're doing, I just don't think it was the right call, yada yada yada. With some more time, I've come to get over the fact that these aren't the choices I would have made, and kind of see what they are doing, even if I don't personally like the choices, and I don't think it's at all the right call, and I do stand by that. I don't think the time skip was... It's not something I would have done, but I can totally see now, especially since I've kind of stepped back and looked at season 4? Season 5? Which season is this? Is this season 4 or 5? I want to say it's 4. Who cares? The final season. Now that I've stepped back and looked at it as a whole, I can appreciate more how they slowly introduced the why do I want to call them Evangelions? That's not their name. Eldians. The Evangelions. They introduced the Eldians, and they slowly just started trickling them down to the point that only Gabby and Falco are the important ones. And also Reiner and everyone from Marley, who's a Titan shifter. And to be honest, those are the characters I actually am curious in. I joked about Falco and Gabby quite a bit, and I'm not huge on everyone, on like every Titan shifter, but I do like them more than I liked a lot of the other characters, especially the children characters and some of the like army commanders who were strangely getting some screen time. Like, I didn't like half of those kids, so I don't mind that they're gone out of the story. Obviously, it's sad that they died, but I don't mind that they're gone, and I actually think it was pretty clever how they introduced these characters, who I imagine were kind of purposefully supposed to be a little, not annoying, but a little innocent for Attack on Titan, and they slowly just, like, teared them away. I just don't think that hits me quite as hard because I didn't like them in the first place, and I feel like for this to really hit you the way it should, because I feel like the intended feeling when these characters die is, look at what Eren and this war, look at what it has brought, look at this cycle of destruction and pain that is just continuing and continuing. But for me, it doesn't hit quite as hard as it should because I don't like those characters. I liked Eren in episode 1 of Attack on Titan, even if he was literally just a child. I still liked him. I thought he was, like, you saw him standing up to bullies or something. I don't know. Like, he just seemed somewhat, he seemed more likable than any of these characters here, and that could just be the fact that it was early in season 1 and you're more open to just seeing where things are going, whereas in the final season you're expecting more, you know, closure and story continuation, and suddenly you're back with these children who see things very black and white and simply, and even though that is completely understandable from their perspective, I'm not watching the show from their perspective, so to shift me into their shoes, it's not fair to expect me to now like these characters when so much has changed. But you can also say that that's the point, yada yada yada, shut up. The point is, I can respect where they're going, and I think I've finally gotten over that they're not doing what I want them to do, but they are doing something. And the more time I've had to think on it, especially episode 71, the more I think I've come to become curious where this is going. Because even though I feel like I still know the final outcome, I feel like I can really predict where this is going. And I've called that out multiple times because I'm a fucking repeating maniac, and I'm just a revolving door that keeps saying the same shit when it comes to this series. But I think if they can pull it off well, it's gonna be worth all of my little gripes. Because I think what they're trying to do is cool. And I just hope when they go for it, they really go for it. Because so far it's a lot of build-up, and you need this build-up, otherwise it's just going to feel like the most anticlimactic thing ever. It just really depends on, from this point on, how they stick the landing. Because it's been a lot of build-up, and we're finally getting to the movement, getting to the action. Not the literal action, but the changing of the tides, and we know every character's perspective, we know their motivations vaguely, we know, like, what's going on. We are no longer purposefully left in the dark, which I did not like, as I made perfectly clear, but now we know everything. The only question mark is Eren's true goal, and I still think that is a question mark. I don't think it's as simple as it has appeared, and I think that much is pretty obvious, but as for what his true goal is, we don't know, and I have no idea. I mean, I have a minor idea, but I don't know the details, and I'm curious how they're going to get from point A to point B here. How we're going to get from the point we're at right now to the point I envision them getting to. Or if we're going to go a completely different path, or if it's going to go exactly as they're saying, and it is just going to be a, oh, the show, oh, I overthought everything. It could totally be that, but if it's done well, and if it's handled properly, I think it'll be good. And for all of my complaining about this season, I need to give some props that I did not properly give, because I'm a little stupid bitch. The fight in the middle of, I forget the place's name, but it's in the middle of the plaza. It was at the big event. It's the one fight in this season so far, except for the one at the start. The one with Titan Eren and the Warhammer, you remember it. That fight, it was really good. Despite my qualms about the CGI Titans, I think that fight did surprisingly well at just distracting me from it almost completely. In no small part due to the Warhammer Titan, which, well, it takes the concept of a Titan a little weird. Because, like, Titans have always kind of had one unique trait that they can use in different ways. So to have a Titan that can just form any weapon is kind of weird. I feel like the weird tether is enough of a gimmick, but sure, whatever. Feel like you really should have sent this Titan to the island, but whatever, I digress. As weird as I think it is, the fight was cool. It was visually very interesting, and when I think of this season, one of the first few things that pops into my mind is the Warhammer Titans design. It lent itself so well to being CGI, because it looks so flat, it almost looks drawn. And yeah, that shot of the big spire just stabbing Eren into the air is so good. If it wasn't for the really cool close-up, and I want to say episode 65, I want to say? If it wasn't for that really good close-up, that would have been the thumbnail. But that close-up was way too cool, and I had to make that the thumbnail. But still, like, that fight was all around really cool, and by far one of my favorite, like, just raw, gnarly Titan moments in this series. There's a couple. There's obviously the one where Eren got his jaw punched off and then, like, used his teeth to, like, grind up Annie's arm into an uppercut, which is super cool. And, like, moments like that I love. Or when he takes Annie down and he's just punching her in the head, and it's like, Jesus, Eren, chill. All of these moments are great, and it's why I love Attack on Titan so much. It's the brutal intimacy of these fights. It isn't the big titans going big punch and sending people flying. It's the small things. And Season 2 had this all over the place with the Eren and Armored Titan fight, which was just mwah. And even in this fight, that, you know, I feel like the CGI almost takes away some of the weight of these hits and these moves. The shot where Eren is... I mean, the whole part where Eren puts the crystallized shifter, I forget her name, but puts her into the Jaw Titan's mouth and just starts to, like, just jam his head shut is so brutal. And then he pops and just starts to drink the blood. It is so brutal. It is so fucked up. But it's so good, and it is so Attack on Titan. And, like, when I think of that scene, it gives me hope that I'm just clashing hard with the fact that this isn't what I wanted it to be, but it is still going to be good. And since I've had a bit of time away, I will repeat myself here. With time away, I've come to really warm up to this a bit more. I didn't appreciate that Gabby and Falco on their stupid, insane revenge quest that feels like, whoa, do you remember Eren from Season 1? You know, like, isn't Gabby kind of like Eren from like, I get it. It's a cycle, I get it. But with all that said, I didn't really appreciate in the moment just how almost downplayed they got by moving into the village and doing like lame chores and having to eat food with people. I almost would have liked more of that, because I feel like we got them moving in and then the next scene was Gabby blowing up at a person, and it feels like, man, I would have really liked one or two more scenes of them just low-key living life and just seeing them as normal-ish people and just kind of seeing, you know, them deal with things a bit more and some more hijinks or something. Just something to get me away from the show aggressively shoving down my throat how dark and twisted this war is. Like, I get it. I understand. And I think what's turning me off so much about this war is that I feel like the people involved in it, mainly Eren, I don't think Eren believes it. I think Eren is going through with this for a goal, for an end goal of being the bad guy here. I think Eren sees it as, we can either slowly be the good guys or quickly be the bad guys, but either way, we are ending off at the same point. The only difference is I won't be around to do the slow path, so I need to make sure I get the fast path done, even if it makes me look evil. I don't care. I need to get my family, the Eldians, and all of them secured first. Forget me. I just need to get this done now, no matter how many lives it costs. Because it's clear Eren is doing this for a reason, and he's just not saying. It can't just be, we gotta end the war, man. This is what I believe in. It's like, Eren was literally, like, stomping on dead people at that capital. That makes no sense. Like, it is entirely I need to be the center of attention and be the bad guy thing. I genuinely think that. And that's where this war is kind of irking me, because I don't like that. I know that. I really think that's true, and I feel like the series is pretending like I don't know that, but I really do. I can see it, guys. I don't know. I'm just... And then there's those new characters who are, what are they called? The Jaegerites or something? I don't like them. I think they're weird. It's very weird to me to introduce new characters to side with Eren. I feel like the Jaegerites could have literally been Mikasa, Armin, Jean, Connie, and not Sasha. But it could have just been them. Like, those could have been the Jaegerites, and you could have just had the show tell us Eren's plan, or at least have Eren tell them, and then we're left thinking, okay, what's his plan? He must have a plan if even Armin and Jean are in this. Or maybe keep Jean out and just get everyone else in. I don't know. I just feel like I would really like anyone but these random new characters to be involved. And I'm saying new characters. I'm sure they've shown up in the background before. But to me, they are new characters here. And I just don't, I don't like it. It also doesn't help that I see Eren as super, like, over-the-top evil, and then you have people who are like, yeah, dude, Eren's a hero. And I get it, they weren't there, they don't know, or at least they don't care, because from their perspective, they're the good guys. I get that, I super get that, y'all. It just feels a little... I don't know. The fact that they all agree with him, and as far as I know, he hasn't shared his secret with them, or his, like, ultimate plans, it just doesn't interest me. But, once again, I have faith that they can pull it off. It's been a lot of build-up of things that I don't really enjoy, but I feel like coming up, there is a good chance the build-up will finally lead to some payoff, and I think I'm going to enjoy where this season ends. I don't know if I enjoyed this first half of the final season, which, by the way, why'd you call it the final season if it's not the like, I get it's the final season, but fuck off, it's not the final season anyways. Like, I get it, it's just two halves, but, like, come on, guys. Anyways, I feel like even though I may not have enjoyed this entire season, I'm going to enjoy the progression it made, if that makes sense. I don't enjoy painting this picture, but I think at the end of the day, I'll enjoy the picture, if that makes sense. We'll see. But that's just some things I've been thinking about since it's all happened. I've come to appreciate it a bit more, and the bold steps they took, and it's weird to say I appreciate it now, because I even mentioned it during the episode, that I realize what they're doing here. They're making a bold choice, and I just don't agree with it. And I still don't, but I've kind of lost that bitter pill, and now I'm more so just, you know, looking at it with neutral eyes going, that is bold. And it is. What they've done is extremely bold, and I like the style of this season. Not exactly the animation style, but just the general feel of it and the vibe. I feel like this was the obvious way to go after the end of the previous season. I just wish we went directly after that season into this, but instead it was like, we did a weird side tour, and then we got to the real start of Season 4, which feels so disrespectful to say, because obviously that's not the case, but I digress. You get the point here. Long story short, I talked a lot of shit in this, in these, 8 or so episodes. Was this 8 episodes? Yes. In these 8 episodes, and I just feel guilty because I don't like talking bad about a series and not giving super good reasons. And I feel like usually when I don't like a show, I do have genuinely good reasons, or at least reasons I can point to and say, this is something I factually do not like. This is a poorly written scene, in my opinion. But in Attack on Titan's case, it's a bunch of minor things building up to, ooh, I really don't like that. And because of that, it comes across very much to me as a lot of whining and bitching and moaning and I don't ever want to come across that way. And I feel like even in this redirect, I kind of dipped back into that just whining kind of tone. And I apologize for that. I super don't mean to. But it's just something that's happening, I guess. I love Attack on Titan. I care about this series a lot, so maybe that's why I'm so passionate that it's not everything I want it to be. Maybe that's why. I don't know. I'm a big dummy, that's all I know. But anyways, all that rambling aside, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this little ramble. And, yeah. Hope you watch the episodes, and even though I may have whined like a baby for some of them, I hope you still enjoyed it and at least can see where I'm coming from, even if you loved these episodes. I hope you can at least understand where I'm coming from, and also understand that, you know, I have slightly changed my stance on it, more specifically about going forward than I have changed my stance on the previous episodes. I still stand by a lot of what I said, but I think going forward I'm just gonna go into it much more curious about where they go from here, and less so where we've been, if that makes sense, and how it's been formatted, because that's not fun. Let's just talk about the fucking story, not the way the story's being told. So yeah, with all that said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode of whatever comes next. I have a few ideas on what's coming next, but I'm not certain of anything yet, so I'm not going to say anything. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and goodbye. Thank you so much. Wow.